Log entry. Breakfast, third studio day.
December 3rd, third day.
Right.
T-minus.
Second pot of coffee. Muffins, fruit, yogurt, oatmeal, duck eggs, bananas,
Blueberries,
creams,
strawberries,
honeys,
Muesli.
coconut yogurt.
bran, flaxseed muffins, hot almond milk, coffee.
Toasty bread.
Oh yeah, hot bread.
With some olive oil.
Oh yeah, hot bread with some olive oil. That's all you need. That's all you need is a little cappuccino, some hot bread, and some olive oil.
A little bit of salt.
You know. Okay.
In December 2018, the Pixies took up residence in a converted old church near Woodstock, New York, to record their 7th album, Beneath the Eyrie. For the sessions at Dreamland Studios, the Pixies allowed every waking moment of the studio process to be recorded, along with interviews, observations, and candid commentary around the breakfast table.
I wrote "Where Is My Mind?" I think in the bathroom, not on the toilet, but I used to practice because it was a nice.
The telephone was there. And
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're still waiting on that coffee, but
Have we got time?
we do. We got loads of time.
what time is it?
Fuck, we got like 20 more days.
9:42.
It's a Pixies Podcast, an unvarnished, unfiltered document of the true creative process. Episode 2. Dreamland Diaries, Day 3.
What about you? Got playing in your past?
Yeah. I started off in a band.
Rock biographer and local Catskills resident Tony Fletcher was invited by Pixies to join the group in the studio throughout their 3 weeks of recording at Dreamland. On his first full morning in the studio, Tony got to know fellow Brit, album producer Tom Dalgety, over coffee in the studio kitchen.
And just always got a real buzz out of being in the studio. And, you know, the band never did particularly well, so we never got to the stage where playing shows could be sort of a fun thing to do. It was always just kind of small stuff.
Right.
And I was just transfixed by the studio always.
So you found your calling?
And then we sort of went to record somewhere and got on really well with the producer we were working with. And then when we'd finished recording, I was like, "Oh, what are you doing next?" He was, "Oh, I'm recording another band." I was like, "Well, do you mind if I just stay here and do that?" And then
And what were you?
I've been there ever since.
Right. You didn't set out thinking, "I want to end up." You set out being like, "I want to be in a band."
I was more, I guess, I more kind of wanted to be in a band at that time. But then I kind of realised that, you know, if you produce stuff, you can sort of be in loads of bands for a few months at a time.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of more fun, I think.
Raised in Somerset and based primarily at the renowned Rockfield Studios in Wales, Tom Dalgety gained prominence as a producer with the UK chart-topping debut album by Royal Blood in 2014. Since then, he's helmed albums by, among many others, Ghost, Killing Joke, and Pixies on the group's 2017 release, Head Carrier.
It's kind of fun though, because on my last record I did with them,
Yeah.
we did like 2 weeks of pre-production in England.
Yeah.
Before starting, and so we haven't done that this time. And initially I was a little apprehensive about that, but actually it's kind of fun because it means all the decisions we're making are like kind of quite fresh,
Right.
and no one gets bored of an idea. It's like, oh, let's do that, and then we're recording it then, rather than before. It's like, well, we're going to do this in pre-production. We've all got like 4 weeks to think about it before we actually commit it to tape. Whereas now it's just a bit more spontaneous, I think.
Right.
And also it's kind of fun just being able to hear it. If you've got an idea, being able to hear it straight away in you know, under the mics with a great drum sound and everything like that. And go, yeah, try doing this. Oh, wow, great. And it might end up being a lot more convincing than if you tried it in a rehearsal room and I can't really tell, you know.
Tom had prepared extensively for the sessions. You could tell he'd listened relentlessly to the demos that were recorded back in March. He decided to do the album in batches of 3. For one thing, this keeps everybody very much involved. Nobody could really afford to wander off for more than a few hours at a time, maybe a day at most, before they'd be needed again. And it just helps with everybody being focused. 3 songs, that's a good number. You can work on one, work on the other, work on the third one. But you're not working on 10 songs at a time, and you're not working relentlessly on the one.
Around 10 o'clock, the band members, Charles Thompson, Joey Santiago, David Lovering, and Paz Lenchantin, start to gather in the control room. And under Tom's direction, the day's work begins by completing drum tracks on the initial 3 songs. Chapel Hill, Caught in a Dream, and In the Arms of Mrs. Mark of Cain.
Production gold, that, you know. Do some stuff. Thanks, Dave. Oh, you got it. Good morning.
Sounds great, David. So Dave just did this percussion. So what's next now?
Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Which
Chapel
one?
Hill, the part with the song with the two
chapel
most
on the
simple
hill, I mean,
parts
I mean, we
becomes
basically are in the chapel on the hill. I think it could be like
Spooky. It's
right?
spooky.
Yeah.
All 4 members settle into their individual areas of the former church and can clearly see each other while listening in the headphone monitors. Chapel Hill is one of the 8 songs demoed back in March of 2018, and although it will be worked through to completion, it doesn't make it onto the final 12 songs that will become Beneath the Eyrie.
All right. Let's do it. Have a breather.
Sounds good.
All of this was not for nothing. All of this was not for nothing. All of this was not for nothing.
As the original group of songs near their basic completion, Tom is already thinking ahead.
Can I hear any of this, the one that you were figuring out?
Yeah, sure.
Have you got your phone recording of it?
We were waiting for you.
We stayed up till like 1, and we were just like, we can't wait for Tom any longer.
Chili was hot.
You didn't get all the texts?
There's chili in the fridge. It's in the brown bag. There's a bucket of it.
Seriously, can I hear the? Have you got your? Did you get the phone recording?
Yeah, we'll probably record it again though, right?
It's rough.
I love it rough.
Dreamland Studios is situated at the start of the Catskill Mountain Forest, 750,000 acres of woods. Pretty much every day, one or all of the band would head on out on their own individual walks, meditative, contemplative, maybe for some inspiration. On that 3rd morning, Charles came back, walking softly and carrying a big stick. He called it his thinking stick, and it became a regular prop in the studio.
Well, hello there. Getting into the spirit of the local area, I see.
I've been contemplating the wood,
Yeah.
consulting with
The
little people,
yeah, of course.
Pixies.
Yeah.
You understand? People think we're just being silly, but they don't realize.
Actually are. Yeah.
But the little people tell me that I should just do exactly as you tell me to do. And that's
Look like authoritative for
the
you.
best. Dry your drums! What's wrong with you?
Drier drums.
Listen to a Fleetwood Mac album!
Yeah.
Would you? It's suffocating, it's so dry.
Yeah.
A producer has to wear many hats. Technical proficiency is a part of it, but it's almost like a prerequisite, and Tom has that in spades. It's the people skills that really, really count. And it's interesting that my first conversation with Charles, which we had standing over the kitchen table during a lunch break, would hone right in on this.
As Paz at some point pointed out to us a couple of years ago, like his time management is really good. So it's like, since we realized that, it's like, okay, so whatever kind of he's saying we're going to do next or stop or whatever, just do that, because chances are
He's figured it out.
he's figured out everyone's energy level. He's figured out, no, stop. Okay, whatever you say.
Right.
And he always stops for dinner, and we almost never work at night. Well, we work around the kitchen table or something at night with an acoustic guitar, but we don't do any hanging out in the studio at night. We don't listen to the tracks that we did that day. Am I playing guitar?
Yeah, I think so. That's great. This one's going to be like, oh, so you recorded it in Woodstock, did you?
Producer, you have to kind of like figure out like what everyone's needs are and how to play without and be honest with them and real and not feel like they're just like kissing your ass. You know what I mean? Trying to yes you or whatever. You know, so he's really good about that.
That third day in the studio, there was a great example of what Charles was just talking about. The role of the producer, not just as a studio professional, but as a shoulder to lean on, a confidant, a friend.
You okay?
Yeah.
Seems like a funk cloud might have arrived.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sorry. Thank you. Here. It's okay. Yeah. Usually in the form of a brief phone call that doesn't go very well, and having to end on a note. And so, on that note, I have to go now. Goodbye. They're asking me to go play the guitar.
I wasn't privy to that chat between Tom and Charles in the control room, of course. But when I had my first conversation with Charles, we did hone in pretty quickly on our mutual roles as parents. And Charles just got to talking about how hard it can be when you're at home with the kids to find time for your creative endeavors.
Sometimes if people don't have kids, or if they haven't had kids yet, they don't understand certain, they think they might understand. How's the new songs coming? Have you kind of trying to get ready, right? So we're not just walking in, oh shit, what are we doing? But I'm like, I got like 5 kids. I'm just like, dude, I'm just like, I'll be there. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I wrote something last night. I'm not sure, man. I'm gonna I can't really think straight until I get the hell out of there.
We got talking about Charles's family and their experience in the bar and catering business. And maybe as a result of that, then as we got back around to the music, Charles likened the process of making a new album to that of creating or crafting the perfect sandwich.
How is this sandwich made? Okay, so this is the kind of bun. Okay, all right. That's the condiment or whatever, the vegetable matter. There's the protein. This is how it's stacked. This is how it's plated. Where you got to decide all this stuff. And it's like, that's pretty good, but there's two, like, the pickle on the bottom that feels stupid.
Meanwhile, back in the control room,
Joey.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. So what's going on? Is Charles done?
Leaving him to
Oh, he's
the
done.
door.
Going into
Okay. What are we doing first?
Let's do Kane.
Kane. Okay.
Actually, fuck it. Let's go from the top. Is it 1, 2, 3? One more.
Is that it?
That's great.
Okay.
That was really good. That just had a really nice.
It's lazy.
Back in the
feel.
beat.
You know what
kind
I
of
was
feeling.
trying? I was like going, fuck! It's not exciting enough. So I was like trying to play it fast.
I think it's cool.
Okay.
It's-
Is it good?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
You get the feeling from Charles that he's an artist. And although he's happy to take suggestions and feedback and input, kind of knows what he wants. And that gives him also a natural confidence that allows him sometimes to just leave things as they are. And what makes that fascinating is his musical partner, Joey Santiago, who's been with him just all these years. They were college roommates together and roommates in Boston when the Pixies started, and they carried on as friends when the Pixies were no more. Here they are still playing together, still hanging together. Joey is just a perfectionist. By his own admission, he gets really worked up about his guitar parts.
It's moving along.
It's moving along nice.
All right, Tom. Okay, aside from the tuning stuff, why was I doing stuff for it? Is it timing? The timing sometimes?
When? Where? What?
Oh, nothing.
No.
No. I'm thinking too much. You mind if I take a little ciggy break?
Not at all.
One of the things that's most admirable about Tom, especially when we're talking about his man management skills, is his constant enthusiasm and encouragement. He's always on the up, always positive. You'll notice there that when Joey expressed some self-doubt, Tom didn't go there with him. He's always going to ask the band members for another take, and they'll give him another take because the thing is, at the end of the day, they know he'll get a great take from them.
That's quite cool.
I think I could do the whole phrasing.
Sounds like it's easier to play on that guitar.
It's so much easier to play my other ones.
Great, man. That's cool.
Okay.
That is Mark of Cain.
That's it? Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. Did you have the chili?
At the end of day 3, Tom Dalgety sits down with Charles Thompson and Paz Lenchantin to discuss the second group of 3 songs, for which tracking will begin on the following morning.
The next batch of 3.
If you can't come up with 3 any particular day, you could always go like this song, that song, and then the third song, wild card.
Would you like that? Like, keep you on your toes.
So then we could do like
I'm kind of
do a newbie,
slightly kind of thinking of just
but
doing,
not yet.
For
you know what I
Joey,
mean?
Going through the
Joey
ones
really
that are-
would like to.
Yeah.
Like he's been really like, I want to know what the 3 songs are to really prepare himself.
Sure, that's fine. So ready?
But we can still do the wild card because there are several of the wild card songs, as I'm going to call them now, that we're going over already actively, like making charts and
Right.
playing and
Right.
sort of. So if you said wild card, we could say let's do this wild card.
We're going to keep the wild cards until a little bit later.
All right, I'll never speak of the concept again.
I want to do with those ones. I want to do a few more down at your house little evening things.
Oh, yeah,
to
sure.
Get them. Okay, so This Is My Fate, Knock Boots, Ready for Love.
This is my fate. Knock boots. Okay. And what was the other one?
Ready for Love.
Okay.
So we should.
Well,
yes,
shit.
yeah.
I got work to do.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting around talking.
Dreamland Diaries, Day 4. Today at Dreamland, the Pixies embark on the next batch of 3 songs for the album that will become Beneath the Eyrie. The previous evening's plan to include a number entitled Knock Boots has been altered in favor of a new song that the group has been working up, Whaleback Hill.
Thanks, Charles. That sounds good to me.
Whaleback Hill is new to everybody in the room, including Charles, who created the chord sequence, and Paz, who will receive a co-writing credit. Absent of finished lyrics and with only an approximate melody, Charles calls out impending verses and choruses as the band plays through some early takes.
Okay, should we just run it one time without any click or anything, just to get?
Yeah, we're just let's all come in together or whatever. Just 1, 2, 3, 4.
change now. Back out.
Hearing the group start in on Whaleback Hill first thing that morning in fits and starts, leaving them to it, and then coming back 2.5 hours later to hear a finished take, it was like night and day. I mean, it was a revelatory experience for an outsider. And shortly after they nailed the final take, Charles talked to me about the song's evolution. And Tom was saying you guys just literally wrote that song last night?
Yeah, sort of, I guess. You know, there was probably like a little, like some kind of a shape maybe a week ago, strummed on a guitar. Oh, that sounds good. You note it. Then you kind of try it out.
Right.
Depending on how you know the chords or whatever, you know, I think it probably the hope is probably for everybody that it's sort of like kind of writes itself the rest of the way, kind of by some sort of everyone's general sense of hunch. You know what I mean? And then you know,
Let's just do it. Let's try it. Come on.
No. I don't understand it. Do it one more time. I'm doing the intro, and then
you do the intro. So you do the discordant. That's like the intro to the intro. Is the like droning A with the thing.
Yeah.
And then it's once around with the.
And then ba-da-da.
Yeah, and then ba-da-da in the verses.
And then I got it. Just one fucking time.
I know what he's fishing after. It's a Joey nuance that he's fishing after.
I did do it.
And yeah, I get it. He wants that locked in. Now, not later. I get it, Tom.
Now later.
I validate you.
Thank you for the validation. I needed that.
The Pixies had recorded themselves playing Whaleback Hill at the Hamlet after dinner the previous night. Tom Dalgety wants them to hear that recording to refresh themselves with the arrangement, but it's not part of the studio files that are sitting on his mixing board.
Sorry, I'm just like emailing it to the computer here. It's taking a little while. Don't worry about it.
Email. The fucking email.
I know.
While we're waiting for can we have the click while we're waiting for the email to go through?
I'm inspired. Come on.
I stopped David just because
Let's get rid of all
poor
this
guy.
inspiration.
All he was doing was
honestly,
playing downbeats.
guys.
Oh, we'll just start it over. I was already fucking up the groove there, Tom. You know what I mean? But now
inspiration is
It's
really
like-
overrated. You don't want inspiration, believe me. You know.
You guys should be yelling at me.
You yell at each other.
Of course, we
whilst
got-
I sort this out.
this is the part of the recording process that just kind of kills your soul.
What I'm here for.
It just kind of crushes it a little bit at a time.
Sorry. It says it's sending. And it's not.
Says it's sending. Okay, we don't need a click. Here we go. 1, 2.
No,
One, two,
stop.
I'm literally going to go and play it from the phone in there.
Eventually, the group resumed recording.
Okay, should we do one?
Verse 1. Take up that stop there and only do it the middle one.
Sorry.
Hey, where's the click at right now?
Hey, Joe, were you talking to me then?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
After the first bridge, right? It was going on for a while.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing there? Sorry.
The main thing
That's
is to
kind of
have fun.
like-
That's the main thing, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
It's kind of like a re-intro.
all right.
Think
Next
about
time
it
I
as a-
will have fun. But
Think of it as a re-intro, Joe. You're just doing the intro again before the verse
okay.
comes in.
Okay. Got it. All right. Maybe I'll have fun on this one.
Can we call the choruses pre-chorus and the bridges choruses?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Okay. We all good with that?
I like that. What is that?
Let me see how that. Okay, here we go. Pre-chorus. I don't know. I can do it. I'm a professional. Precarious. I'll call it
Precarious.
precarious. the precarious, and then can we call it the Greek chorus? The precarious and the Greek chorus.
What is the pre-chorus?
So
Can we call it the pre-chorus and the choral ode?
Pre-chorus.
Oh yeah, everything's recorded.
That's the chorus.
Was it all
Yeah.
chorus?
Well,
Was the chorus.
Was the chorus, now it's called the pre-chorus.
Got it. And then the chorus is.
You got it.
In a traditional sense. Okay. All right. So now what are we calling the bridge?
The chorus.
There's no bridge. There's no bridge.
That was a joke. I got it.
We threw that out.
There's no bridge. You're gonna have to swim across. Okay, so it's 20 times around the pre-chorus. But
Got it. And then
It's 4.
It's 3 the first time, 4 the second time.
okay. Okay, got it. Then goes back to the verse. Got it.
Then a pre-chorus, and then the chorus.
Okay, got it.
Joe, if you see my hat tilted to the left,
Don't forget it.
that means the chorus is coming.
Charles,
The
just
first pre-chorus is going to the
Charles,
verse.
can you
get
just
it.
say pre and just
Yeah,
say
no, I
pre.
just forgot that time. Sorry.
Can I make
anyway,
it?
hit some click. Let's see what happens.
On the way back hill, the sea coming out of her. Now I'm up to my neck with each chapter and each verse.
Okay, this is getting good.
Can I
Yeah.
a tiny little suggestion?
Of course.
On the pre-chorus, when we do it 4 times, on the 4th one, can we do kind of like hits where it's like, so it's like more
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
I
straight.
love it already, and I haven't even heard it.
At lunchtime that day, Charles discussed Paz's input into the process.
Paz, she always has good ideas. She always, like, pretty much all her ideas, like, 9 out of 10, it's sort of like, all right, touche. That's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Can we try something?
Yeah.
Can we do the first time we do the chorus, we do it like the first time, but then we go back to the chorus with the anthem. So it stops for a second, and maybe it's like you sing something. I hear like you saying something that brings it back to the outro chorus.
Yeah, that would be cool. Let's try it.
So let's do this second chorus. It's going to have the Paz wants to hear it with the full stop in it, like the first chorus, and then outro. Okay, so second chorus. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
On the way back here, we're coming out of dust.
With a stop.
Now I'm up to my neck. Telling it
1, 2, 3, and sing. I will be killed. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just like. Yeah, just come back
I'm
and.
gonna shoot that one down,
Okay.
actually, because I really like the feeling between the sort of punky snares on each beat to the going back to the backbeat thing, and if we put a gap at that point, we'll lose that shift.
Yeah.
Can we please let's just do the rest of the song, and then we'll try a few options for this, because I don't want to lose focus on the rest of the track. Okay, cool. Don't worry about how we end it. We'll figure this out afterwards.
Then again, not every idea, regardless of who makes it, works out.
Like someone suggests an idea, and it's like, okay, we'll try that. And then another person immediately says, that doesn't, like, ringing the bell for me for some reason. It's kind of like it's their hunch going, You have to kind of go like, okay, they might have a good hunch there. So, back off.
On the way back here, the sea coming out of dust. Now I'm up to my neck. The chapter, 2, 3, 4.
David, I thought the restrained Motown-y vibe was great. Just sounds like the drummer is definitely not wearing gloves. You know what I mean? Just sounds cooler. The drummer might even be wearing a paisley shirt in my mind now, you know?
It's taken a couple of hours. It's involved some discussion, some confusion, some enthusiastic cajoling from Tom, and at least one failed email. But the group has now found its rhythm, its arrangement, its pace, and its presence. Tom encourages them to deliver a full take just a couple more times.
How's it feeling?
Good.
Okay, let's do another. Let's just get two more on the trot like this.
He's a real Mayflower man. All the way back here, coming outward. Now I'm up to my neck. Chapter 1, 2, 6.
All right, I'm on board with this. Another one straight away.
One more for luck, Dave.
First one. Who's on the top of your mountain? He's a real Mayflower man. On the way back here, she's calling out her head. Now I'm up to my neck. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, soon I will be you.
That was a great take, Dave. Everything about that take felt great to me, drum-wise.
How many takes was that, probably?
I don't know. Like 20? Something like that? About that? You know?
It's been a long morning, but Tom finally has a take he's absolutely thrilled with. 3 weeks later, Whaleback Hill would have been completed and renamed as On Graveyard Hill. Once the album is mixed and mastered, that song, one that was barely written at the point the band came into the studio that morning, will be chosen as the first track to be released from the album, Beneath the Eyrie.
So, class dismissed.
Next week, it's a Pixies Podcast, Episode 3. Lederhosen, Fate, and a conversation with Charles Thompson.
We need to wear like lederhosen to do this.
Forget about all your records and your opera idea and your thing, your concept, whatever. At the end of the day, some guy's listening to your song. It's like, that's the moment.
I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready for a break.
Good night, Woodstock.